Daniel was a great guy. He was kind-hearted. He was like the Pied Piper with kids. He loved everybody. He walked in the room with an infectious smile. He didn't have a mean bone in his body. He just wanted to help everybody, and he was a great guy.
He started having a really bad headache. Throughout this whole time, he was really weak. He couldn't really get out of bed. He, just felt like just awful. And he was, had a fever. His doctor was telling him to take Tylenol and stay hydrated.
We did call the doctor and say that he had a very bad headache, and their response to me was, "This is part of the sickness."
Yeah,
just to keep.
These are all symptoms of the virus.
Yes.
He called my parents, and he was like, I can't. And my mom was like, "You can't what?" And he was like, I can't breathe. So at that point, my dad, went to go to his apartment, and on the way called an ambulance for him. Because of the situation, my dad wasn't able to follow the ambulance. He wasn't able to go inside. So they basically, wheeled him out and on a stretcher, brought him to the hospital. He was put on a ventilator. So he was on a ventilator for the entire time that he was in the hospital. While he was there, they were giving him all different kinds of medications. He got that hydroxychloroquine with the Z-Pack while he was in the hospital.
He said to me, "It's a guessing game." He said, it's just, we're trying to balance everything as we work on him. But everything kept failing. His kidneys started to fail.
He was in renal failure, so they had to provide. They were doing dialysis on him every day to kind of to get the fluids out of his body because they was affecting his lungs. And at one point, they came to us and said, he has a lot of electrolytes in his system. Because he's so healthy, it's almost as if his immune system is making this worse for him. It's attacking his immune system. His immune system is working in overdrive to try and fight this. And they had to at one point give him something to suppress his immune system so it wouldn't work so hard. He had a blood clot in his groin, and they were going to, do an echocardiogram because we had requested him to go transferred to Yale because at that time we were looking to get him the plasma. Because of this blood clot, he wasn't able to be transferred. And then, they had called us back a little later that they were going to do a procedure to shrink it. But at that point, the blood clot traveled to the right side to the right ventricle of his heart. So they went into this procedure. Saturday morning, they called us and told us that the procedure didn't work, that the blood clot was still there, and that, it really wasn't looking good. He's still requiring a lot of oxygen, and, his body was, just really failing. They couldn't perform the dialysis Saturday morning because his body was just rejecting it. Everything was in failure. He was in failure. And at that point, we did a Zoom call into his hospital room, and we had to say goodbye to him through an iPad. And we had everybody on the phone, and he's just laying there, and we couldn't be there to console him. That was the hardest part, is that, my baby brother is sitting in this hospital bed, dying, and we couldn't do anything for him. We couldn't go and comfort him. We had this whole plasma thing set up for him to happen today. We had a wonderful woman who was a friend of somebody that I was friends with on Facebook, who saw my post looking for donors, and she came forward and was like, "Listen, I will do whatever I have to do. Just let me know." She was calling Mount Sinai, which was where she had already been cleared. Everything was already tested. She had the antibodies. She was good to go. It was just a matter of her going somewhere and having her blood, taken and extracting the plasma out of it. She was supposed to drive all the way up to Albany today to get the plasma extracted, and they were going to get it to my brother so that they could start this process to see if it would work. But unfortunately, because he passed, we never have the opportunity to know whether or not that would have worked for him. It's bad. I mean, people are dying, and it's not just older people that, it's happening to. It's young, healthy people. My brother had no underlying medical conditions whatsoever. And if you have had it and you're well, then please, please, please find where you can donate your plasma, because there's a lot of families on, all different kinds of groups on Facebook that are looking for plasma donations.
I just feel if I would have got him someplace earlier, he would have been alive. But and I asked him that. I says, if I would have brought him earlier, would he be alive? He says no, because it just creeps up on you. You could be fine, just have little symptoms, and all of a sudden it just hits you, which happened to Daniel.
Right. He's just got robbed of his life, and it's just terrible. It's just literally hit him like a ton of bricks out of nowhere. Never in a million years did we think that our loved one, my brother, their son would be hit with this virus. And
this could be the next process to help the next person and to save another family from what we're going through right now. Please go donate your plasma if you have the opportunity.